basically a barrel under the ground and do something like this. Very funny. Hail and Meshes Adventures, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3. It's me, the Spud King, and today we're making build for Druid, and we will be making Circle of the Land subclass. So, our race of choice today is Dwarf, because Dwarves, very cool dudes. They can have battle axes, hand axes, light hammers, war hammers, whatever you like, but additionally we get more dark vision and resistance to poisons and poisonous damage. For our sub-race we get in this Durgar Gnome, so we get superior dark vision and advantage against illusions, being charmed or paralyzed. So it's nice amount of different protections, and what we want to have as Druid, basically these protections, because Druid is kinda supportive class, Circle of the Land mostly supportive class that can control the battlefield a lot. So we picked Druid. As Druid we get 2 cantrips from the first level, and we will pick this Shillelagh and Torn Whip. 2 cantrips, really good ones for Druid. For our background we go with Folk Hero, for animal handling and survival. For our abilities we add in more into insight and perception, and we will distribute our abilities. Our main abilities is Constitution to keep concentration on our spells, and Wisdom, primary ability for spell casting and prepared spells. We dump Intelligence, we don't need it. We get a little bit of Strength to be able to jump a little bit, push enemies a little bit, shove them, something like this. We get 14 in Dexterity, and we will aiming towards medium armor, shield, and some easy weapon like club in one hand. That's our armors of choice basically. And 10 in Charisma to get this attribute without any penalty, because as Druid we get +2 proficiency from saving throws in Intelligence, we get -1 because we got only 8, so it's like pretty balanced character after all. We can prepare 4 spells, so Druid know all spells. If you don't like any spells, you can replace them with other spells, or maybe you're just in situations where you need other spell. I will show you basic strategy and spell combinations, so definitely you can change them, but this like pretty useful and good stuff. First one, Goodberry, just basic healing spell. It's nice, you create a lot of Goodberries, you give this to your teammates, and they can eat them. Healing Word, you can heal your teammates with bonus action or heal yourself. And 2 controlling stuff, so Fairy Fire to give advantage on attack rolls to you and your teammates, and Entangle to slow enemies and put them in one place. This is 2 concentration spells, so you need to pick one of these. But let's first of all let's go into the game. But first of all, little tips for level 1 and further. This Goodberry is a really great spell to have, and you don't want to use it in the battle, because in the battle you will create these Goodberries, but you can do it before the battle. So Goodberry is basically a berry that you can use with bonus action to heal yourself. You just eat it and you heal yourself. You can give this to your allies, and they will heal by using their bonus actions, very good stuff. And you will use your spell slot to cast this stuff, just like that. So, cool idea to instantly go to the spellbook and remove Goodberry from our prepared spell list and change it to anything else, because while you get these Goodberries, they will be already always with you until long rest. So you created some, just remove it from your spell list and go play with other spells. Maybe you will find some more spells useful. So level 2, that's where we're picking our subclass, and today we're making Circle of the Land, of course. First of all, we get an additional cantrip. That's nice, because Druid got only 2 cantrips from first level. Other spellcasters most of the time get 3 cantrips. So right now we're getting same as them. Nice cantrip would be Guidance, just to give your party members this edge in ability checks when needed, most of the time in dialogues, or even to yourself, and you get additional prepared spell. And now I recommend picking some range damaging spells like Ice Knife, it will be very useful for you. After that we're going to level 3. So level 3, that's where the fun begins. We're getting more spells from level 2, but most importantly we're picking Circle of the Land subclass. And there's a lot of subclasses to pick from. Today, as you can see, my Druid, we will be going for Underdark subclass. In my opinion, it's like one of the best subclasses. First of all, because you want to focus on spells like Web and other stuff that require concentration, and that will make harder for your enemies to go around the battlefield. While many other types of Druid got kinda same spells that you can already know. So for example, this gets you Hold Person, great spell, but Spike Growth, you already can go and prepare it because you know this spell, you know this Hold Person spell, So that's like not very smart subclass to pick. You need to concentrate on controlling spells to control battlefield, heal your teammates, make it harder for your enemies to go around battlefield, and basically make traps. So we're picking Underdark today, and we're getting this awesome Misty Step first of all. And as Druid, you don't have this Misty Step. And why we want this Misty Step? There's a reason. Entire reason, because first of all, we can't learn it. Second of all, while this Druid can definitely use wild shapes, when you're in the wild shape, you can't use your magic. And this type of Druid need action to become beast. So most of the time you will use beasts on exploration and other stuff, and in the battle, beast will be like last resort when you need additional hit points to survive. So if you pick a race like me, you will get this enlarge, and that's funny stuff, so I will show you in a second how we combine it in early game. So for spells, I recommend to change Entangle to Spike Growth, for example, and nice spells from second level is Flame Blade, so you get Scimitar in your hand and it will do from 3 to 18 fire damage, so nice spell to have when you see some enemies that is not resistant to fire damage. Otherwise, if you need some magic damage, nice pick is Moonbeam on these stages, and Flaming Sphere is always good pick. So let's go and show you how you can play this Druid in the early game. So first of all, as this Druid, you can recover your spell slots while out of the combat. So you basically can start your day with doing like a lot of goodberries by using goodberry with level 2 spell slot, with level 1 spell slot, and then just recovering them. Cast Long Strider on yourself always, and then basically go into the battle. So as this Druid Dwarf, you can use this enlarge action, and this will make you much bigger for 10 turns. So let me show you this. And yeah, just before the fight, always try to cast Shillelagh on yourself. You don't need to use this bonus action in a fight actually, because it's cantrip, it's not require you any resource, any spell slots, so basically cast it always when you think that fight can appear. So you enter in some like dark cave, just cast Shillelagh on your weapon and your weapon will become a lot stronger and not costing you any resource. So let's enlarge ourselves. And as this Circle of the Land Druid, you want to have large amount of AC. That's why you want to go and get some medium armor to increase your armor class. So instead of 11, we will have around 15 over here, so we can definitely get this AC up to 20. And with Enlarge Form and Shillelagh active, we can do large amount of damage to enemies. So as a Druid, you can do multiple things on this early levels. First of all, get this web stuff. You can place webs anywhere, and this will possibly enweb enemies, and all your attack rolls against these enemies will be with advantage. Very nice to attack with wall your party if you have a lot of ranged weapons and attacks. And of course you will have advantage even with attack rolls with spells like Turn Whip, like Ice Knife, they use an attack roll too. So another way you can do the Spike Growth, larger area of effect, making hard terrain. Anyone who trespasses in this area will be inflicted with large amount of damage for every 1.5 meter you move around this area, or you can use your Moonbeam to concentrate on this stuff and basically inflict 2d10 radiant damage, and you can move this beam every turn for 10 turns while you keep in your concentration. Very nice, very strong spell. But as this Druid, if you play this Druiger Dwarf, you can basically use Fairy Fire, try to succeed on this stuff. So we succeeded on this dude, and just like that we go into the fight and tank, and now every attack against this dude who got Fairy Fired will be with advantage. So that's very tanky Druid, very nice one, you can attack with advantage, but you need to keep concentration on your spell, don't forget. And your main idea is to gather up enemies in this like one area and then try to attack them with your area of effect spells, like this Moonbeam for example, just like that. After you did it, you can go and teleport with Misty Step to another area and just go and make your appearance over there. And yeah, while you keep in concentration, you can use it over here. You can use this stuff to move Moonbeam wherever you like. This will still cost you action, so you need some type and idea how you will use your bonus action. And most of the time you will use bonus action just to use Healing Word on yourself and your allies, or just to recast this Shillelagh to increase damage of your weapon. So that's all you want to do, and when you're out of resource, when you're out of spells, you will be left only with Thorn Whip. And here you still can use your Thorn Whip instead of moving your Moonbeam, for example. Just relocate yourself and use your Thorn Whip to just lure this imp into this damaging Moonbeam, and you will kill him. So be creative with your attacks, positioning and other stuff. That's how you play Druid. And if you're in trouble, you can use your action to change your wild shape. I recommend to going into Spider or Badger. That's like nice wild shapes right now, so we can go and definitely become Badger. Badger got nice HP pool, at least some HP pool, 13 hit points, not really bad. And you can use your burrow action to make enemies prone. So basically you burrow under the ground and do something like this, very funny. And when this Badger will be dead, so let me show you this, you basically becoming Druid again, so that's not a problem, and you can become Badger again, so that's like additional hit point pool for you. So let's go and level up. So level 4, we get an additional shapes of wild shape, we can become Deep Rose. But again, wild shapes is not most important stuff for this type of druid. Most important stuff is gear. You want this medium armor, you want higher armor class. For our cantrips on level 4, pick whatever you like, and we get additional feat. So for our feat of choice, we're definitely going into wisdom right now. You want this wisdom as high as possible, so our spells will be more effective. So we continue our journey to level 5. Level 5, that's where we get this new class feature, and it's Wild Strike. When we make an attack in wild shape, we can do one more attack. So that's cool feature. And again, we get access to a lot of level 3 spells right now. So again, Circle of the Coast will give you Cool Lighting and Sledge Storm. Why we need to pick it when we can pick it just like that? So that's like got no sense when you want to pick them. But there's no web spell, as you can see, so Underdark is way to go. But you can pick it on every level where you can basically pick it. So right now I would change from Underdark into Swamp. Stinking Cloud is cool spell, so this will prevent enemies from doing any actions and everyone in this area from doing actions. Nice controlling stuff. But I like to have this Swamp and Vampiric Touch. Very cool spell, and you won't have access to this as Druid. So other stuff is basically every spell that you can have as normal Druid too. Another nice pick is Grassland. Grassland will give you Haste, and Haste is cool spell that give you additional actions, but you need to concentrate on this spell. That's why I don't want to pick it. As Druid, you want to concentrate on other spells that will help you control area and do some useful stuff. Because if you're concentrating on Haste, you're basically useless. Because all cool spells require your concentration. So that's why we're picking Swamp and we're getting this Vampiric Touch. So cool spells right now is protection from energy. If you need some protection from energy, basically, sometimes you're facing a lot of mages, use Sledge Storm to break their concentration. Or if you need some additional magical damage, use Cold Lighting. Yeah, you definitely can use it. Why not? So level 6 gives us protection from difficult terrain. That's where the fun begins. Right now you can summon a lot of difficult terrain stuff and you will be protected. You can basically run around it easily. And you get additional forms. You can be a Panther, you can be all bear. Nice and funny forms. So level 7, we're getting access to level 4 spells and more Circle of the Land subclasses. On this level you get access to all of these spells, so basically it's like additional spells that you don't need to prepare, that will be always learned. You can pick whatever you like, and my go-to will be something that not require you to concentrate on. So Desert is nice pick to get this Blight level 4 necromancy spell that inflict 8d8 necrotic damage. Why not? And for our prepared spells, we're going with the Summon Army. So we're going with Minor Elemental and Woodland Being. Just because we are Druid who use a lot of concentration spells, we need someone who will help us to do some job. And to make job done, we need this Woodland Being and Minor Elemental. Level 8, that's where we get more feats. And now, while we being this caster who uses a lot of concentration spells, we need this Warcaster feat. So we will have advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on our spells. For prepared spells, we don't care about them now, we need to go to the next level, level 9. Level 9 is cool because we now get the spells from level 5 and Circle of the Land bonus, last bonus that we can get from this Circle of the Land subclass. And I recommend to going back to the Underdark because you get this Contagion and Cloud Kill, cool spells that we don't have access to with just basic spells. So from level 5 we're picking Conjure Elemental and Insect Plague. Yeah, depending on the situation you can switch some spells to get greater restoration and other supportive stuff that your party needs. Just don't forget to check out the supportive spells like Lesser Restoration, Greater Restoration, and get them just if your party needs it. And just like that, let's go to level 10. Level 10 gets us class feature, improved Wild Strike. Now you can do 2 attacks in wild form, wild shape, And now it's really smart time when you want to be in the wild shape, because you get this Dilophosaurus form. You can use corrosive speed to dissolve target's armor class and make it easier for you and your teammates to hit them. And your form will start with 74 hit points and you will increase every 2 Druid level. So it will increase one time when we level up more. Additional subclass feature will be Nature's Ward. You can't be charmed or frightened. Very cool stuff. We get one more cantrip. We don't care right now about cantrips. We get everything we need. And we can go to level 11, where we get this awesome level 6 spells. For level 6 spells, I recommend just to go with this awesome feature and pick one of this stuff. So, Hero's Feast, nice pick. It will add to your party additional hit points and other stuff, very cool. It will make your party beefier, so nice buff. But there's other cool spells, one of which is Wall of Thorns, making this entangling vines, so enemies can be entangled when you casting this, and you will have advantage on attack rolls against them. Their movement speed is quartered, and they will get damage every turn while this stuff is active. But there's another stuff, Sunbeam, very cool stuff, because it's level 6 spell, and you got only level 6 spell slot, one spell slot. This spell will blind all creatures in its path, and until spell ends for 10 turns, you can recast it without expanding spell slot. That means that you can use the spell every turn, basically, for 10 turns while you're keeping your concentration. That's crazy stuff, that's very useful stuff, so why not to use it? And we get into our last level, where we can prepare additional spells. We got already everything we need, so we don't care, and we can go into ability improvement and get this wisdom to hit more often with our spells and make it harder for enemy to resist them. Just like that, our Druid is ready, and let's go and show him in the late game. So, your bonus action will be just as before, used mostly for Misty Step and Healing Word. Now we can replenish spell slots 6 times in a day and replenish spell slots from different levels. So you can create these elementals from level 5 spell slot, basically use your natural recovery and recover this level 5 spell slot, just like that. This will use 5 charges of this stuff, so don't forget, now you can only recharge the level 1 spell slot, but that's totally okay. So for elementals, I recommend to go with Conjure Elemental, Earth Elemental. This dude is very cool. He got high HP count, he can use this Elemental Warp, basically it's teleport, large distance teleport, and he teleports, very cool stuff. He got multi-attack, so he can do multiple attacks in one turn, and he got basic damage. But most importantly, he can teleport to the target location and use the Saving Strike and reduce target's dexterity and movement speed. That's cool because dexterity reduces armored class of targets, they hit chance with dexterity-based weapons and other stuff. Very cool dude to go and basically teleport to range enemies, use the Saving Slam and destroy them. So now we're going into our minor elemental. For minor elemental, I recommend to stick with Aether. Aether is really cool dude, and basically this will use your 4 level spell slot. This mini dude, mini dwarf, can have Searing Smite, very strong attack that gives much damage. He can Concussive Smash to make enemies dazed for 2 turns, and he can make enemy get disadvantage on attack rolls and strength saving throws, and he basically can make enemies prone, so very nice variety of attack. And he can use jump as bonus action, so often use his jump action as bonus action. That's cool stuff. And next up, our bread and butter is Woodland Being. So Woodland Being is Druid, and you want to have her in your party. Druid is cool. She got only 22 hit points as level 7 summon, that's sad. But first of all, she can use this Strengthed Shillelagh. So she will get really hard hitting weapon, from 7 to 35 damage, very cool stuff. She will get this Entangle, so she can make this really nice entangling stuff that will entangle your enemies. It's concentration spell, so she needs to take concentration. Spike growth, so you don't need to cast this stuff, she can do it. And this is not spell slot, so she can do it as much as she wants every turn. And she got this Nature Step, so everyone nearby won't be affected by difficult terrain. That's cool stuff, because now she can be nearby of this Aether, this Ash Elemental, and they will be completely free on difficult terrain. And she can summon this Fallen Lover, so there's one more summon, and this like Groot. And he got 42 HP, so that's not so bad. He can entangle your enemies, so additional CC, crowd control stuff. he got regeneration, he regains 10 hit points every turn if he goes through wine surface. So that's our main party and what we want to concentrate on. We want to concentrate on Cloud Kill, large area spell doing large amount of damage if you're still controlling area. Another one is Insect Plague. It creates different terrain of many like insects, so you can do it and they attack enemies who standing there, who trying to trespass this area. Cloud Kill, kind of same stuff, making it harder to see in this cloud. Wall of Thorns, if you want to use it, again creating large wall of thorns. It's almost impossible to go through this because you will get a lot of damage. But again, my favorite is Sunbeam. So basically you can cast Sunbeam and make sure to look in the right corner, because right now you can recast it every turn for 10 turns, and this is level 6 spell. That's crazy. That's crazy. Level 6 spell can be casted 10 times in 10 turns. So how these monsters will look in a battle. So basically you enter battle with your large party and you need to start to control all of these dudes. Make sure to summon them before battle, of course. There's no use if you summon them after or in the battle, it will use large amount of your actions. So as Druid you basically can use Shillelagh as bonus action and go attack your enemies with pretty large and big hits, just like that. So as your main druid, you can use Potion of Speed, for example, to get 2 actions in a turn. And again, you can do one of menacing. First of all, if you got these 2 turns with Potion of Speed, you can use 1 turn to make plant growth, to make this hard surface, and then enhance this surface with Insect Plague on these guys and concentrate on this stuff. You can use Cloud Kill and you can change this position of this spell every turn for 10 turns again. You can do the same with Cold Lighting, but if you cast in something like Wall of Thorns, for example, or Insect Plague, this will be concentration spells that will be placed in one single place, and you can keep concentration when you're using your wild shapes. That's one of the ways you can play this druid. For example, you place Cloud Kill over here, and then you go and make yourself into wild shape. For example, you want to become this all beer, just like that. So now you're all beer, and this Cloud Kill will stay over here. You can't reposition it, but now you're all beer with 112 hit points pool. So you can go and do some stuff. That's all beer can do. We forgot this elemental outside of the battle, sadly. So dismissing wild shape, not using action, so you definitely can just dismiss it. That's totally fine. And other stuff you can do. And what I suggest you to do, use your 2 actions to cast this Sunbeam. So you want to use on your first turn this plant growth to make it harder for enemies to move on this terrain, while your whole party is protected from this terrain because they will be moved alongside this Druid. And in the meantime, when enemies on the hard terrain, for example, I will show you just like that. So we make this terrain, and while we're concentrating on this, and while these wines not require any concentration from us, and we are immune to this stuff, so we can basically use all our move speed when we're walking around this. We can use our Sunbeam, level 6 spell, to just cast in a large area and try to hit all enemies, just like that. So while we're keeping our concentration, and that's like pretty easy to do, because we get this Warcaster Feast, so we get advantage. And here, as you can see, these plants can get on fire. So while you're keeping your concentration, you can do this stuff every turn. And if you get these 2 actions, you can do it 2 times. So just cast this stuff 1 time, go and repeat 1 more time, just like that. And that's crazy. This level 6 spell, you can cast it. And this difficult terrain is enemies trying to go and hit you. You just go and reposition yourself with Misty Step. So that's like crazy teleportating druid. That's like impossible to beat dude actually. And he will cast 2 beams every turn for 10 turns, while you get this Potion of Speed effect. So that's my strategy and build for this Circle of the Land druid. But maybe you want to see all forms, all wild shapes that is available to druid. Go watch this video on the screen right now. There's time codes where you can see all wild shapes available with their skill set. See you in the next videos, guys.